Peace, family. I apologize for my lateness. Let me know if you can hear me, please. I would greatly appreciate that. Let me know if I'm coming up. If you can hear me pretty good or not. Peace, peace, y'all. And you don't stop. How we doing? How we doing? Hey, Steph, what's good? How are you? How you feeling? Hope you had a wonderful week so far. The rest of y'all in here, I can see there's 3 people. I just can't see who, which I really think that YouTube needs to fix. I would love to see like the drop down list who's in here. But it is what it is. Oops. All right, I promise I won't take too much of your guys' time. Let's get right into it because I am super late. So let's jump right into the ting. I apologize, my energy's a little low today, but we doing the thing. The message still has to get out to the people. So much love to you and those people who are able to make it, and hopefully whoever can catch it later can. Thank you so much out there for the birthday love. Thank you so much to all those that wish me a happy birthday. I appreciate our solar return. I'm so grateful for you all. You guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah, man, it's another year on the planet, another year around the sun that I have to be grateful for, and I'm so grateful for you all. You guys inspire me, push me to be great, because I'm not gonna lie, like today is one of those days where my energy was just not where it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, knowing that you guys are counting on me, knowing that I have a message to give really allowed me to push through and move forward. Trust me, I've been dragging. That's why I'm like slow today. There might be a little self-sabotage in there. Who knows, right? But we're gonna keep it rocking either way. So no music. So I didn't get a copyright strike, but it was like some copyright stuff going on. I'm still trying to understand this YouTube thing. So we'll figure it out. But we got a great message. I think today we're just going to kind of go through it as best as we can. Hi, Brittany. Thanks for pulling up. And we here. So yeah, make sure you like up the video. I appreciate that. For whatever reason, it helps the algorithm. It lets YouTube know that, hey, people like this, and this is something that they may need to see. So that's what you do to help me out. But all right, so let's jump through some quick housekeeping things. So right now, readings are available. For those of you who have had them, you know the vibes. For those of you who have not, please click the link in the description. Book yourself a session with me. They're $100. They're $99, but they are going to open up so much for you in your world and really put you on your path to your greatness. You know, it's one of those things that like once you open that box, you just can't stop the momentum, but it's just for your best. So please take advantage of the opportunity. Tap in with me, book a session. And, you know, even if it's something that you're emotionally going through too, we can work through it, figure it out together. But, you know, for those of you who may know your soul purpose, but yeah, tap in with your boy. Readings are available. Let me see what else we got going on. We got some videos out already. Yes, SP said book a session. Yeah, tell them, SP, tell them. Yeah, so other things that we got going on. That video Shamika and I did is doing really well. We have quite a few views. I'm so happy. It's one of the better, you know, videos that we've released so far on the channel. So shout out to the homie Shamika. I don't know if she's in here or not. It was such a blessing and such an honor to do that podcast with her. And I'm really looking forward to doing some more interviews in the future. I have my eyes on a few people that I definitely want to bring onto the channel because I think they have so much value and things that they can bring to the world. And put on the platform. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my goal is to have some more interviews for you guys coming soon, and maybe some other content too. Like I've been kind of playing around with some, like maybe like some minor vlogging. So I was like gonna put like a workout video, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that, just kind of playing around and seeing what sticks. You know what I mean? I feel like, yes, we are spiritual beings and we're here to do work, but we're spiritual beings also having a human experience. And part of this human experience is there is some beauty there. It's not all rags and tags and terrible chaos. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are beautiful: art, clothing, uh, whatever it is that you're into, music that really not only inspire you, but it heightens your vibration. It makes you more creative. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to express yourself in a new way. It brings you a new level of awareness, that you may not have in your previous existence. So there's a lot of that in the human experience, right? We tend to focus on the negative stuff, right? I know we talk a lot about the ego here, only because like this is the time for it, I guess. um, but yeah, so I'm gonna branch out, show you guys a little bit more of me and my world too. You know what I mean? Not that I have like this crazy interesting world, but for those who are interested, I'm about to dibble and dabble in some things and just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's about play. We're here to play. You know what I mean? We're here to travel. We're here to see things. We're here to experience the good and the bad. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm really trying to be more intentional about that kind of stuff. So yes, maybe like mini vlog coming soon. What else do we need to tell you guys? I think that's it. Let's get into the message. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let me do the side by side thing, so it's easier for me to see while I speak to you guys. And yeah. All right. So um, hmm. Hmm. All right. So things to be mindful of, love. This one is going to be kind of I don't think I'll be doing as much teaching, but I'll just let it flow and let spirit speak through me for the message for you guys, right? But this is kind of like more so a conversation to highlight things that we need to be aware of at this particular time and over the next several weeks. This is July 2024 for those watching this maybe in the future. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the media. There's a lot going on maybe in our personal lives and on social media. And it's purposeful. It's very, very purposeful. I want to start by talking about what's going on in the media in general. And I won't get too detailed into things. I just want to highlight some things real quick just to make you guys aware of what's at play. And then we could kind of keep it moving like that. Yeah. So some of the things that spirit put in my awareness is that know that right now there's a lot of polarization going on in social media and the media in general. Do not get caught up in it. Do not get into the beef or judgment or any of that, right? Like be the watcher, be the observer of it all, right? Understand what's going on, but don't forget to serve and give love. So this is the message that spirit gave. Peace, peace, Mika. How are you? We just bigged you up a second ago. Thanks for pulling up, sis. The episode's going crazy, but all right, focus. My bad. So yeah, so spirit put this in my awareness because there's a lot going on social media right now, right? So we have the presidential election, which is a very polarizing topic right now, with the red and the blue going against each other. I'm gonna speak in code because I ain't trying to get stuff flagged. You know what I'm saying? And so we got Team Orange and we got OB. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because there were some dreams or prophecies that some people have had about what transpired, right? With Orange Man almost getting taken out. and use your context, context clues. Hopefully you can put it together. You know what I mean? It's a puzzle. Put it together. Um, you know what I mean? They almost took Orange Man out, and then you got old Biddy getting sick and being like, "Yo, I can't do this race." And then now there's someone else being pushed forward to, we'll say Kmart. Kmart's being pushed forward to the new candidacy. Now, I'm not here to talk about who's right, who's wrong. We're not getting into that. Here's what we are going to get into. Okay. Do not get yourself caught up in this bullshit. And by bullshit, I mean the polarization of duality that says one side is right and one side is wrong. It is all a play. Y'all cracking up. This is all a play on your energy. It's all about harvesting. Okay. It's all about them trying to manifest the future that they desire and want. And I was talking to my cousin B about this earlier. Shout out to B. I don't think she's in here today. But, one of the things that we realized through our conversation, and I'm going to speak to my people of color, especially in the West. This is going to be triggering, but I got to keep it 100. We are some of the most triggered people on this side of the planet, right? We're very, very, maybe not triggers in the word, we're insecure. I got to keep it a buck, right? We're super, super, super duper insecure. And so it's so easy for us to get riled up, right? When somebody who, we all know these people in our lives who are like super, super sensitive, like you say anything offensively, they're ready to cuss you out. They're ready to fight you on a dime. They're ready to kill whoever offends them, right? And that's I was gonna say that's us. I am a person of color, but I don't participate in that I try not to participate in that. But yeah, I'll talk about it. Okay. That's us in general, right? Like we are insecure, right? So we gotta have the nicest cars and the nicest chain and the nicest this and the nicest that. Part of this, not all of it, there's nothing wrong with having these things, just part of it, just for context, is because we are some of the deepest and we have some deep insecurities. And that's by design, right? We are the most oppressed group, right? In comparison to other groups on the planet, right? And so when we don't have a lot, your pride is everything, right? So you have to puff your chest out a little bit more, be a little bit more of that tougher exterior, be focused on what you look like and what you have so that people can see your value. But when you peel back the layers of all of it, you deep down, we're the most insecure group, right? Because take those things away, we don't feel the best. We don't feel the way we portray ourselves to be. So how does this relate to the media? Well, the media can simply have something tragic happen. Let's say some things goes on with the police because we don't have the greatest relations in our past, at least how the media tells the story with the police. They were designed off rip to catch slaves, onto the futures to suppress lower income communities, excuse me. And that's kind of where most of the so-called crime happens, right? And so the disenfranchised continue to be beat down, oppressed, pigeonholed, etc. Right? So there's a rich history in our blood. So even in this life, if you didn't grow up in the hood, your past lives already have some type of, or your ancestry already has some type of trauma around these things, right? And it's funny because we're going to show a video later that talks about this. So I'm getting a little bit ahead, but like they say humans have a deep fear of snakes because of trauma that we received out in nature. We would get bit by snakes. So we were out, hunter gatherers, all that. I don't believe that to be true. That's just masculine logic. But the point being is that if your parents had a fear of something, you're going to have generally a fear of something. It's just going to come right through you. Okay, cool. That's a fact, Britt. It runs deep. It runs deep. Shamika said truth. Facts. So what they do is they put these things on the media for on purpose, right? And we have to, I really wish if you start to look at shit from your third eye, you'll begin to see patterns. When you begin to become the so-called observer, take yourself and your emotions out of the situation and just look at the thing on a more factual basis on what's happening, you begin to see the play. It's so interesting that around certain times, somebody gets attacked by, 5-0. Yo, just walk with me. I apologize. We got to speak in code. 12. You know what I'm saying? Around these times when there's like elections coming up or certain laws that needs to be passed, or there's always something going on. Dr. Delbert Blair, shout out to the OG, the master teacher. He would always say, yo, when they tell you, they be in the media, etc., to look somewhere, look around it or look somewhere else, because that's really what's going on. Okay. So don't get yourself into the conversations online. Don't be arguing with people trying to get them to see the point. Just like, okay, whatever you say, whatever. Do not engage in this shit. Do not engage. Rise above it. I know it sounds snooty or whatever the fuck. We could look at it. You know what I mean? Okay. So I know it seems, and we might seem arrogant to do that. Whatever. Who cares? Whatever people say, oh, you don't care about this? No. You know what I mean? Oh, you don't vote? You don't got to answer people anyway. Just stay out of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? She said, call me snooty then. And Steph, you were right. I think what you were saying, I know you retracted your message about Chiron Retrograde. We're going to talk about Chiron Retrograde. So you're on point because you be knowing, huh? Anyway, so this is what's going on. In addition to this, we have this this conversation coming up about men and women again. I thought that was dying down, but that's coming back, right? So you have the blue against the reds, hint, hint. So the Crips against the Bloods, basically, which is wild. If you really think about if y'all really break down this is so deep. My goodness, this is so deep. It's interesting that Chiron is in retrograde during this national crisis season. Everything is purposeful. So, when Professor Mel was telling us and saying like, yo, like they have these people that are trying to run the world. They have neurologists, they have astrologists who understand the energy, understand what can come, and they try to prep for it best. They try to use the energy and manipulate it for their favor so that it can go in the way they want it to go. It's all by design. Listen, when have we ever had a presidential debate this early? None that I can remember. There may have been before. And we might need to look into the astrology of what was going on during that year. But this is unprecedented too, right? Homeboy dropping out of the race, OB, you know what I'm saying? OB dropping out of the race, old Biddy, as I like to call him. You know what I'm saying? It is homeboy almost got taken out, whether that was a false flag or not, we don't know, right? But there's a lot of changes going on. Shamika says, we've already won. Know that. That's a fact. Flex emoji on them, right? We already won. So there's this thing with black men and black women and this war that's going on it's just the low vibrational talk. Have y'all been seeing the pop-in videos going on where like a whole host of men or a whole host of women, and they'll bring them up and, they'll tell the person, like, ask them questions, or they get to choose from a lineup. A lot of that has been going on, and people are like the most egotistical shit ever, popping balloons based on where they work or what they look like or what outfit they have on. It's a no for me. And they're all like popping this balloon. Have y'all seen that? One's in the chat if y'all seen that. I know it takes a while to get there. I'm sure you guys have seen it, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, the meek. 100. Yeah. All right, cool. So again, there's a lot of like disrespectful things that are said and the low vibrational shit that just don't have anything to do with love or really getting together, right? It's all about polarization. It's all about duality. It's all about separation, right? And so this is what happens when we participate in these things. It furthers the divide, it furthers the separation. And yes, we've already won. But what we want to do is because it's going to get, let's be honest, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And this is not me fear mongering, it's just the truth, right? So by the vast majority of people who aren't aware, right, who their eye may not be open to really see and be the observer of what's going on, they're jumping in and defending themselves, right? Because the insecurities will make you triggered and you are going to feel some type of way. So when somebody says something about black men, you're gonna be like, oh, that's fucked up. They always saying some shit about black men. We don't protect, we don't do this. That's not true. Right? Black women, we did this, we did that. You see someone who may be a black woman in a high role and you may identify with it and you're like, yes, 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 go Kmart. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You hyping up Kmart and Kmart don't got your best interests at heart. Ain't nobody gonna save you. Whoever wins the election is really not gonna matter. Yeah, maybe one side that might end up being, it might open some shit up, but at the end of the day, and when I say open some shit up, I mean like it may be not the greatest situation. It might be more chaotic, but no one's coming to save you. These people aren't coming to save you. So why are you even engaging? Focus on what you're here to do. Focus on yourself. All right. Kmart ain't gonna save you. That's a fact. Kmart, most of the locations are closed around the world. Oh shit. Yo, only my 90s babies and above is gonna know. These newer cats around the block, they don't know what Kmart is, yo. Anyway. Oh man. So yeah, don't get caught up in the bull. Don't get caught up in the bull. So what's the best remedy? Don't get into the beef, don't get into judgment either, right? Because you're gonna see some despicable shit on both sides, right? Even though that has judgment in it, but you know what I mean. You're gonna feel like, ugh, right? So be the observer, be the watcher, serve and give love. You know, because people's awareness, there's a lot of people still asleep, right? Like, you know, I was one of those people that was into, now I wasn't really into politics because of my own upbringing. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. Maybe we'll dive into that. But you know, in the past, I definitely would probably be participating in this conversation about men and women and how women are this and blah 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 because of my own trauma and hurts. You know what I'm saying? I would be participating in this joint. So I understand, but I wasn't awakened to this person and version of myself than I am now. Right. And so there are people who are yet to wake up, and we have to be patient as the ones that are more wise. That doesn't mean that you allow them to walk all over you. I mean, you say what you got to say. You're not blocking your throat chakra for anyone. Right. But when you say it with love. You know what I mean? Like I love you, but you're off the chain right now. You gotta chill. You know what I'm saying? That's how I gotta be. That's how I gotta be. So anyway, so what I was saying basically is that we are being invited on purpose to harvest and momentum and energy. And you know, as Mika so wonderfully pointed out, we're greater than our circumstances. You know what I mean? To what she said, excuse me, in regards to we've already won, right? Now, mind you, it's interesting too, because if we look at where we've kind of progressed and we've talked about, you know, the messages that spirit has given us, it's been like kind of almost sequential, right? We're at this point now where we understand more about the self and more about the ego, and that's constantly flowing and ever evolving, and it's like an onion, right? um but it's interesting to see that we're learning that we are getting to the point where our circumstances, right? We're looking at our circumstances, we're looking at our lives, and we look at these circumstances, we're like, yo, the world's going to shit, right? Like there's chaos ensuing, all this stuff that they said biblically what happened is kind of like happening. Like, you know, there's undertones of, you know, fighting amongst groups and what's going to happen when a certain group wins and a certain group doesn't. All this fear mongering is going on in the media. This energy is happening. And if you live in it, and if you're in that space, you will kind of get drawn in, right? So when we talked about manifestation, we talked about being a vibrational match. Y'all remember the spiral? One in the chat if y'all remember the spirals in that video, the spiral chart. House of Cards is really a good political series to reference. All of this riffraff. Yeah, House of Cards is interesting. I've only seen a couple episodes. Yeah, but I know it's a dope show. It's very, very interesting. But yeah, the play is wild, how they use the media to just get things and manipulate. It's just constant manipulation. You know what I'm saying? So we've had this kind of buildup and understanding. Thank you, Meek. So we're looking at that spiral. So if you are focused on this stuff, you are lowering your vibration and you are bringing yourself into that reality of which you will manifest that reality. This is why it's important for us to know these things about manifestation, know ourselves to the point that like, hey, this shit is just my ego being scared. This is just some inner things that I need to work on, right? Like all men aren't bad. All women aren't bad. Why am I, you know what I'm saying? This person might be have a different political view than I do, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to get into sides and my side is better than your side. Like this whole idea of like tribalism. You know what I'm saying? Do anything for the tribe, my tribe, ride or die. Okay. So just be mindful of that. And I feel like, Professor Mel probably talked about this too. But again, this is what the message that Spirit wanted to get out. All right. Cool. All right. So we need to start getting into the Chiron retrograde and why this is important in a second. So right now, guys, we want you to be mindful of escapism right now. Okay. When you are triggered, oh wait, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I apologize. All right. So let's talk about Chiron retrograde first, and then we'll jump into that. Okay. So Chiron retrograde is going to be on July 26th at a certain time, but just do July 27th just to be safe. Okay. We're going to watch a little video into more of what that means, but I'm just going to give an overview quickly of what that means and then we'll jump right into it. Yeah. So Chiron retrograde is interesting. So it basically Chiron is basically an asteroid. It's not an actual planet, but what it represents is it's called basically the wounded healer. And it talks a lot about our childhood wounds, right? Our deeper wounds that we may have. And the thing about these types of wounds, when you have these types of traumas and stuff so early, it's kind of hard to work through them, right? Because when you're a child and your ego is first forming, it creates a narrative and a story really early. And that narrative kind of continues on and becomes recognizable until you begin to delayer that. So many of us who maybe took a little bit longer to awaken, especially, many men, and that's changing now, usually tend to mature a little bit slower than women. Women are more naturally tapped into their feminine energy in comparison to men, right? Which talks about, and when I say feminine energy, I'm not talking about female, I'm talking about internal, the divine, right? The things that you cannot see. And so my point being is that some people kind of mature a little bit later, even in their spiritual self, right? And so what's interesting about that is your ego kind of runs the show up until the point that you begin to repeel the layers or the rose-colored glasses that you're under, right? It's like having a pair of sunglasses on with shades on them your whole entire life. And then it's like you're beginning to repeal the ego's power over you. And it's like pulling down the glasses a little bit and you kind of peek through a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shoot. Oh, I was tripping. This ain't what I thought I saw. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the process, right? Okay, cool. So astrologically, I hope I said that word right. Right. When Chiron, which is this movement, when something goes into retrograde, it appears from our planet that it is moving backwards or in reverse. In most cases, it's not, right? It's just an appearance of that based on the speeds and other things, okay? But what it represents when something is in retrograde, generally it's more focused on the internal self, the internal world versus your outer world, Okay. So things within you. So explaining that, hopefully you guys understand and get a better understanding of what that means. So you have the wounded healer coming up in regards to your inner self, so your inner childhood wounds, and it is also in the sign of Aries, right? It's been in the sign of Aries since 2018, and I'm gonna play this video and we'll discuss it some more. But just remember, the Aries is the house of the self. So again, to reiterate my point, that this is about you, right? And your internal self. So you're going to feel triggered, is basically what I'm saying. You're going to feel things coming up from your past or people coming up from your past that you need to reckon with, deal with, move past, forgive, let go, etc., etc. Coach Shuni's in the building. What up? Welcome, sis. Welcome. All right. So let me share this quick video. It's about a few minutes. And then, yeah. Um, Oh, I know why it's doing that, because this is okay. So I gotta leave full screen mode. Forgive me, y'all. Still learning, still getting it together. That's so interesting that I can't do this with full screen. That is quite annoying. Here we go. Boom. All right, y'all. Let's see. Can y'all see this? Yes, y'all can see this. All right, cool. Hopefully I'm not in the way. I'm gonna play this. It's a short video. The link is also in the caption or the description of the video. So if you need to watch it later, it's just a quick video. I'm gonna play it on 1.2 times so it can kind of go a little bit faster. Hopefully you can understand the main points, okay? Bet. Let's go.
Chiron stations retrograde on July 27th at 23 degrees of Aries. This is new territory for Chiron, and the Wounded Healer asteroid will travel back to 19 degrees of Aries until the end of December, December 29th. So between 19 and 23 degrees of Aries in your chart is where you are unraveling parts of yourself that are no longer your truth, that are no longer connected to who you really are. Now, in Aries, you can build up a false sense of self before knowing who you really are. Part of the Aries energy is to have the courage to be independent, to go it alone, to trust yourself, to follow an adventure, and to use that big creative urge towards something worthwhile and meaningful. With Chiron here in Aries, where Chiron has been since 2018, we are unraveling the false self, the false ego. We are being guided into the deeper layers of ourselves, where we actually have some unconscious injuries and soul wounds to work through and to understand how maybe those parts of ourselves have been shielded, how we have hidden them from ourselves or from others. Chiron is often an invitation into the vulnerabilities and insecurities that we don't want others to see. But at a higher level, Chiron wants you to see them in yourself, to at least accept parts of yourself that aren't maybe what you would at first choose, but would show you more of the truth of who you are so that you can love and accept yourself as is. We all have imperfections. We all have vulnerabilities and insecurities. We all have parts of ourselves that we're privately working through and understanding. Chiron is also where we're actually invited to look at where have you tried to go it alone, but you actually need support. And that can be hard for the Aries spirit that wants to do it on its own timeline, in its own way. But Chiron calls in the healers, calls in the therapists, the support systems, the energy workers. Chiron wants you to know that you don't have to do it all alone, but there are things here that you're learning about yourself that you also could be too caught up in, because Chiron and Aries can be too subjective and lack objectivity or lack the understanding that what you're feeling is actually universal. So for example, we don't often want to be vulnerable, right? Like we don't want to be vulnerable perhaps in friendships or relationships, or there's parts of ourselves we don't want other people to see. So maybe we put up a shield or we do something to hide it. But Chiron actually shows you that, guess what? You're just like everyone else who wants to avoid their vulnerabilities or who has things they don't want others to know about.
Hmm.
So this Chiron in Aries is learning how to detach, how to be more objective, how to understand that it's actually through other people and opening up to them that the real healing begins, especially if you thought it wasn't safe to be yourself. So allow this Chiron retrograde to guide you into more of your truth, into more of what you're actually learning to accept in yourself, and to remind you that you're just like everyone else in more ways that you realize. And that could be quite comforting as well.
Wow. Oh yeah. Nah, we not bigging up Gaia right now. They gotta sponsor the screen. They're not sponsored. You know what I'm saying? Hey yo. All right. So how we feel in the chat after watching that? Hopefully you guys could hear that. I didn't know Chiron was in retrograde. Yes, starting on technically I think it's the 26th when I looked it up, July 26th, but we're just saying the 27th for whatever sake in the West. Yes, it is super in alignment, right? And so cool. So as we're talking about as the collective, right, and especially in the world, but especially in the West, there's a reason why all this shit is going on, right? We talked about the blue flags and the red flags and what's going on with that, right? We talked about OB and Kmart and Orange Man and how this is all purposeful. Rest in power to the sister that just got, unfortunately transitioned due to this, whatever happened and transpired in her home. That's all over the internet, right? You're seeing that everywhere. That is all purposeful. Okay. Because they know that this is a very sensitive time for you. Y'all hear what I'm saying? They know that you're going to be super triggered right now anyway. Because of what's going on with Chiron. Everything is a play. Everything is sorry, this should make you want to curse. Yo, they're constantly playing with the energy. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Okay. So do not participate. That's the point. All right, so let's go back to Chiron retrograde. So what she said was so profound, y'all. This is a great time to listen and to assess and to see over the next couple months. Spirit's going to be showing you some of the things that you need to work on within yourself that you need to heal. It's going to be coming to the forefront. Okay. And so, if you have, issues around money and your value and your worthiness, that's going to come up because even if you work past some things, there might be more layers to it that you need to really release in order to step into abundance. You know what I'm saying? Coach Trini said, I had no idea what's going on. I mind my spiritual business, as you should, sis. As you should. That's a fact. Mind your spiritual business, my son. I'm gonna steal that. I mind my spiritual business. Yeah, that's a good one, Coach Shooty. Yeah, man. So they know what they're doing. They know what's going on. But let's focus on us. So for us, it's a time to reflect over these next couple months, and especially as we're in the pre-shadow phase of this over the next couple days, and we actually get into it. What you can do is you can go into your chart for those of you who are interested in seeing like, hey, okay, cool. I want to be more cognizant and aware of in what areas that this is going to show up. You can pull up your chart, look at what's called a transit chart in your astrology, and Western astrology is what I'm talking about, or tropical astrology. I'm sure there's something similar in Vedic. I don't know it, so forgive me. But as far as like Western or more so tropical astrology, you can look at Chiron and where it's placing and what house that is going to be in. Okay, so it's going to have the Aries energy, which is funny because it's at 23 degrees, which those of us who know numerology, 2 + 3 is 5. So what's the energy behind 5 in the chat? This is the SAU fam in here, so I know y'all know. What does 5 represent in numerology? We making y'all work tonight. Change. Wow. Facts. Change, right? Movement, change. And what comes with change does come A little bit of chaos. Coach Shuni, yeah, we put it to the test, sis, making sure you know. You are correct. You knew the answer. No need to put the question mark. Right? You got it right. So we're in this so there goes that energy of change. Things are moving. We're being asked to reflect within, to release the things, because change is happening. We are being transformed, right, through our inner self, because part of an 8 year and being abundant, if we want to truly be abundant, we must be abundant in all ways. Okay, so let's go back to my message from spirit, because there's something tied to that. Oh, this ain't the message. Hold on. Yikes, did I close it? Ah, here it is. Okay, cool. Thanks for your patience, y'all. So, where was I? It'll come up. It lost me. Anyway, so we'll just jump right into this. So yeah, man, I want you guys during this time, okay, things that you need to be aware of. Be mindful of escapism, okay? Because when you are feeling, how do we say, triggered, right? You you tend to go to some of the comforting things, whether that's like food, right? So let's say your comfort place is food, so you may go to like sugary foods so that you can feel safe and comforting, or maybe grounded food, so you're like eating pasta and stuff more than often. You're going to your go-to comfort meals, right? And there's no judgment in that, right? Just be mindful of it, that you're not overdoing it, right? If you're being called to do something, you need to move forward. You need to push past your fears, and you're like, oh, you're finding every excuse in the book. Oh, I need to clean, or I need to do that. And spirit's like telling you post some shit, do the post, right? Love on yourself, be patient with yourself, and know the reason why that you're struggling right now is because you are in the process of things being broken up within you. I use this example all the time when I'm talking to my friends about shit like this. But it's like, you ever had like maybe like a juice, like a yeah, like a bottled drink or something, and you notice that all of the actual juice is separated, right? Like the not the actual juice, but the liquid is separated from maybe the more solid material in the thing, and you got to shake it up and then it's the full color. That's what's happening, right? It's like getting the little mud or the little things on the bottom stirred up so that the water can get murky, right? And so what that does is it allows you to realize and see what you haven't been seeing recently, right? What you haven't been paying attention to, or maybe not seeing how it's still affecting you, that you need to let go of. So be mindful of that. Know that like you didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? Some of this is probably not even you. This is shit from your bloodline, right? Or maybe just some belief systems for the collectives. Just be patient with yourself, love on yourself, but try to still get what you need to get done. Do not fall into the excuse of like, oh, I'm gonna work, eat, I'm worried about money, so I need to go hustle and get a job. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe you do need to get another job, or maybe you need to get a better job, or maybe you need to be doing your spiritual work, right? Like, what is it that you need to put online? What's your online business? What do you need to be, what are you passionate about, right? Like, how do you make you money? See what I'm saying? Tap into that energy, right? Instead of the old ways of doing things. Y'all dig what I'm saying? Let me see what's happening in the chat. Coach Shuni says movement. You're right, boy. Sister Myra be speaking about this in the 7C. Oh, wow. Should know it by heart. Oh. It's all good. It's all good. Foods, pasta, bread. Yep. Comfort foods. Yep. Hey, you know the vibes, Shuni. You know the vibes. So just be mindful, right? So just be kind to yourself, allow yourself a moment to relax. You don't need to be hyper productive. You don't need to beat yourself up because you just can't push yourself through it. Like, coming online tonight, bro, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I'm gonna be completely honest and vulnerable. It was difficult. I did not feel like it today. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't feel like it. I was tired. I took me a little nap after the nap, and that's why I was late, because things were just behind. But I'm still here. I'm still giving the message out. I was like beating myself up for not having everything in order in place. As you can see, I had the wrong paragraphs in the wrong places, right? But we still here. We doing it. We making it happen. Y'all getting the message, even if it is a little all over the place. The message is the message, right? Still show up for yourself. Still try to do the best that you can, and know that you don't need. The aim is not perfection, because perfection does not exist. Even in nature, it doesn't exist, right? There's always going to be some slight off balance somewhere. You know what I mean? So just love on yourself and know that that's the vibes. All right. And oh yes, okay, cool. So let's see. So be mindful of escapism as well. When you're triggered, it's easy to go into our shells and find excuses to not do it. And by not do it, I'm talking about the thing that spirit is telling you to do. You know what I mean? Man, I'm so glad you showed up, because it's confirmation. Wow, Shuni, I'm so happy. Yo, much gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. That's all I can say. I'm so happy. Wow. Right? And we are real, and we aren't AI. That's a fact. Yeah, we're real. We're going to have emotions, and that's okay. That's totally okay. So make sure that you guys are resting and relaxing, and be gentle with yourself. But also remember, you still should choose yourself at these moments when you're feeling triggered, and follow your promptings. It may not always be easy, but just do your best. Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't, but be kind to yourself either way. Just do your best. That's all spirit wants you to do, yo. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Barbara Johnson. Hey, Barbara. This is exactly what I needed to hear. Thanks, DJ. Oh, you're so welcome. Chakra, so true. That's a fact. Yeah. So, let's see. What else do we have for you? Okay, cool. So, Chiron Retrograde, we're still on this. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, what? Oh, wait, sorry. Somebody just posted something. My bad. I'm getting distracted. This funny part is spirit will tell you you're doing an amazing job. That's a fact. That's so true. Thank you for pointing that out. Your team, listen, your team is never mad when you miss the boat, or you miss the bus, or you miss that thing that you were supposed to do. The opportunity will present itself again, or it presents itself in a different way for you to reach that higher timeline. It is okay. It is not the end of the world, right? Time is just a construct that is here. And what's crazy is that our ancestors, our spirit team, our star families, whatever you're into and on your whatever level of understanding of spirituality that you are in, know that the higher power, the most high source, is unconditional love. And I know that we don't tend to experience unconditional love here in the human experience, right? Because everything seems like people only love you when you are doing what they want you to do, or you're producing, or you have a lot of money, or you're being praised, or you look like this, or you don't look like that. Everything is based on other people's expectations, which is fickle. Humans, because of the ego, they're back and forth on everything. But understand, there's none of that on the other side. There's none of that on the much higher dimensions, right? So when our team is helping us and our angels are like, no, don't go that way. Like, trust me, don't go in the car tonight. Like, we're trying to protect you. They're like, oh man, she's still going. Well, we can't stop her. All right, let's try to do our best. Like, it's just love. They just have love for you. They're not like, see, we told you not to get in the car and go to the club tonight. Now look at that. You got grazed by a bullet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever happened. I hope you get my point. Like, they just love you. They just love you unconditionally and want you to win. Period. So when they are giving you a prompting, know that it's coming from an unconditional love. And they know that this shit is hard. They know that it's difficult here. This is why they are on your team. This is why you have an individual, like many, we don't understand the vastness of how large our teams are. You know what I mean? Like, we think that like, oh, it's just one ancestor or maybe a couple. But like, it's way bigger than that. We're talking about your ancestors that rock with you. Some don't, some do. Right? You got angels, what we call so-called angels, right? Other light beings, right? We got even above that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm getting too, this is too, we need to, I'm gonna dial it back. We don't need to dive that deep. But my point is that your team is so freaking vast. so vast. Okay. You got an army behind you at all times with you. So know this, have faith. So when they're telling you something to go here now, go, because there's a reason for it. And sometimes it may be trivial and it may not make sense, but I promise you it's for a reason. Okay, this is why we talked about, that's why Spirit gave us the message much earlier, weeks ago at this point. It's been damn near 4 months we've been doing this. So shout out to the squad for being here for so long. But, earlier message was talking about the importance of following your intuition and your promptings. There's a reason behind that. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So Brittany says, so true. And we can so easily get down on ourselves for not doing what we feel like we should. Sometimes you just need to rest. That is a fact. Oh my God. Hyperproductivity is a thing, right? Like being overly productive just for being productive's sake, just doing shit just to make yourself feel better because you get the rush of completing something, and dopamine is a dopamine addiction. But we'll get into that another day. Sometimes you just need to rest. Getting comfortable with resting is super important. That's a fact. And sometimes things are going to slow on purpose. Sometimes Spirit will slow shit down for you because you're about to go through a very emotional time. Like, imagine this, right? They can see months ago that Chiron Retrograde was coming. So they may have asked you, was trying to push you to like, yo, do this now, because this is the best time. And when I say they, I'm talking about your spirit team. This is the best time for you to do it. Because when Chiron Retrograde comes in the next coming months, which of course we aren't paying attention to because many of us aren't astrologists, right? You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to do it, and it's like so hard. We feel like our foot is like we're ankle deep in mud, and we're trying to like trot across this fucking bayou or whatever that shit is called. And it's just like, it just feels so hard and slow. Like you feel like you're in quicksand. And Spirit was like, see, this is why we wanted you to do this back then. Start your channel now. Start this now, because when this rolls around, there's going to be so much chaos in the world. There's going to be earthquakes. There's going to be hurricanes. There's going to be storms. There's going to be political unrest. There's going to be all these things triggering you. It's going to be even harder to get into the rhythm. So this is also the importance of listening to your team. You hear what I'm saying? Because they can see ahead of you. They got the bird's eye view. So you got to trust them, family. All right? So truth, yeah, you got a big team and they don't play about me. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, where were we? All right, so one more thing about this Chiron retrograde that I want to express to you guys that I think is important that came to me. What's coming up next, which is also tied to what we started the conversation with. So for those of you who missed it, you're going to have to go back and watch it. But the chaos and things that's happening in the world, there's about to be what's called the 8-8 Lions Gate portal. So this year is especially interesting because on August 8th, 2024, you're going to have the energy of what? 3 8s. 8 represents abundance. Lionsgate portal is a great time for you to talk to your team. Okay. We talked about who your teams are. That's right. That's right, Meet. This is a great time for you to manifest. This is a great time for you to take the decision that you're going to make and put it into action. This is the time for you to believe in yourself. Okay. So when we talked earlier about all the BS that's going on in the world, the stuff that the media is pushing, it's to distract you from the very energy that you need. They're trying to take from you in order to bring what they want into existence. So last 2 weeks, we talked about manifestation 101 and 102. So now y'all should have manifestation down pat. And if you haven't, please rewatch or watch the videos. One thing I didn't get to touch on is using sexual transmutation in manifestation. For some reason, I just overglanced that. So maybe I'll talk about that another day. But that's neither here nor there. Rewatch those videos if you need a re-up on it. But listen to me. This is an important time, is what I'm trying to get across to you right now. Take your healing work seriously. Yes, be kind and gentle to yourself, but don't use this energy of being triggered, because your ego is going to try to escape. Your ego wants to be in comfort and it will sacrifice so much to be in this toxic comfortableness that it thinks that it's in. Okay. Right. We talked about this some weeks ago. We talked about Stockholm's. Yeah, I think it's called Stockholm's syndrome, right? Like being so used to the trauma that you begin to love it and you don't want to escape your captor. It's crazy. Anyway, my point is 888 portals coming up. You need to be aware of the energy. You need to use that energy for what you want to manifest and the future that you truly desire for yourself. And understand, it's not about a dollar amount. You can put a dollar amount out there, but do you really care to be a millionaire, or is it more so that you just want financial freedom? Right? You want to be able to travel where you want to go, eat what you want to eat, be where you want to be. You want your home to be comfortable and safe. You want the best quality food, the best restaurants, right? That's what it's really about? The best people around you? You want to learn more? You want to expand? Is that what's really about? Or is it just to be rich, because you think that's cool? So understand and tap in with yourself and realize why you're manifesting what you're manifesting. And trust and believe this Chiron retrograde is going to bring some things to the forefront that will show you where you have some holes, you have some emptiness, you have some judgments about yourself. Okay, so use this time to heal. And then when the 8-8 portal comes up in a couple weeks, lock in to what you meditate, write down your intentions, whatever manifestation method works for you. Use that energy to propel you forward. Y'all hear what I'm saying? One in the chat. Y'all a little quiet. I just want to make sure y'all with me. Y'all understand? Am I communicating am I getting across what I'm trying to get across here? One's in the chat if y'all feel me. Thank you. Love that. Oh shoot. Sorry, there was more. There's some more information about Chiron retrograde. Forgive me, y'all. I'm not on my. All right, cool. So take time to nurse your wounds before you go bleeding on other people. Okay. So the next couple months while this is in retrograde, you're going to feel triggered, which means that you're going to be a little bit more mean, a little bit more impatient, because you are frustrated, because you are feeling triggered. Be aware of that. Be mindful of that. Okay. I don't know who that's for, but that's for somebody. It says, how often is it that we project our feelings on others as if it is their fault? A lot of times we blame our partners, our partnerships, we blame our boss, we blame our job for the way that we feel, because we're not willing to take responsibility for those things. I'm sure we have all here have felt what it felt like to have someone else project onto us, right? So be mindful of that as well. People are going to be attempting to project onto you, okay? So be aware of that. Like, yo, this isn't me. This isn't my responsibility to work through. This is them. This is their shit. I didn't do anything wrong. So just be mindful of that, okay? Many times, it is not them. It's someone else who wronged you. And now they receive that energy that isn't even there. So we're talking about triggers here, right? So many times when you're feeling triggered, you're wanting to lash out. You're wanting to project that anger on, this person did this to me, or this person cut me off in traffic. You know, that son of a B. You're flipping them off. And the next thing you know, y'all about to fight each other on the side of the highway, like, because the person made a mistake, right? Know that a lot of the times that thing that you're angry about, that someone so-called did to you or didn't do or said to you, it's your beef is really not with them. It's really somebody in your past, right? For a lot of people, I say, you know, it's not your husband. Sometimes it's not your husband. Sometimes it's your father that you're mad at. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes it's not your wife. Sometimes it's your mother that you're mad at. I'm gonna leave that there. So stop the blaming and process the emotions. All right. I think that was it for Chiron. All right. So moving on. So we talked a little bit about this Lion Gateway. So listen, a shift is coming. All right, guys. A shift is coming. And what side do you want to be on? Like, this is what Spirit gave to me. What side do you want to be on? This shift that's coming, like this timeline, this ascension to 5D, whatever you want to call it, like we're ascending. And there's a split that's really about to happen. Right? The split is about to get even more deep. So what side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side that is still in the suffering, still listening and watching the news every day, focused on all the terrible things that are happening on the world? Or do you want to be on the side that's not worried, not stressed, not involved? Things just come to me. My needs are always met. It's the craziest thing. Like, I might not have money today, and then all of a sudden, someone just gives me money, or someone books a session, or someone decides to just bring me a whole bag of a whole box of different fruits and assortment of foods. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't have to worry about food. Or you could be in the energy of like, oh my God, like I need to get a job. I got to figure out, maybe I could sell something. Like, I really need money. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, damn, like, fuck, like, what? Two different energies, bro. One is of trust, one is at peace, the other one is stressed out. Y'all hear what I'm saying? This split is really about to go down. So for those of us who are still struggling with lack mindsets, with not really trusting your team, etc., listen to me. This is a great opportunity with this Lionsgate. Call in the things that you need to call in so that you can manifest this timeline, and then just fearlessly follow your spirit team's guidance, follow your promptings, and you will eventually get there. But it's going to be a time where there's going to be a line drawn in the sand is what I'm seeing, right? Or hearing, like that line. And once that line and that separation happens, when you're on the side that you don't want to be on, it's going to be very, very hard to get on the other side. It's not impossible, but it's going to be challenging. So begin to think, what side do you want to be on? So you got to heal. You got to let go of the bullshit, right? You're having to deal with Chiron retrograde and see the things inside you that you believe that you no longer need, that no longer serve you. Let go of those things. And use this Lionsgate portal to then help you make sure that you are on that higher path that you so deserve, because you deserve the higher path. And it's still going to take some time to get there. It's not like you're going to be like, you wake up and you're there. That's not exactly how this works. It's progression. It takes time. We are being progressed, right? The Most High is so intelligent, it's so strong. It's just such a beautiful thing when you start to, especially when you put astrology into it and you start to track things. You're like, oh my God, this is so purposeful. It's just perfect, right? And yes, we don't like these Chiron retrogrades because it makes us not feel great. But isn't it a wonderful thing when you surpass the things that deeply you didn't even realize was holding you back? How many of you have experienced like when you that aha moment and that bulb comes on and you're like, wow, like, yo, I've really been looking at this like this, and that's not even how it is, bro. That's crazy. Like, I was tripping. Like, that was not helping me at all. And then from then on forward, you're aware of it, and it becomes easier to work through the triggers and the traumas. Like, yeah, you're still gonna get hurt every once in a while, but like, it's so much better. Abundance is a mindset. That's a fact. Excuse me. And I'll wait till that message pops up. I think I have it written down. Yeah, I think this is the next message. Barbara said, Spirit's been telling me to sit in a place of receiving and rest instead of trying to figure stuff out. To figure stuff out. Got you. Yeah. that Gemini mind. As a thinker, and this is part of the masculine energy, because if you are in a situation, you're like, hey, I don't have money, let's say, right? The logical mind is going to figure out ways that exist to get money, right? So you're going to apply for jobs, you're going to maybe do Instacart or some shit like that, right? And that's fine. But what you should be doing is first consulting with your spirit team and asking your team, give me the vision of where you want me to go, where you want me to be, right? Because in this situation that I'm in right now, I feel like I'm missing out on opportunities. Help me to see it. Give me the vision. Give me the next step. Tell me what you want me to do, right? Let spirit guide you instead of the logical mind, because the logical mind only knows how to operate based on past trauma, aka the ego. The ego will have you selling. Sorry, I was going to say something inappropriate. I was going to say the ego will have you selling ass. Yeah, but that's inappropriate. I gotta find another example, but that's all that's coming to me. The ego will have you selling drugs for money. There we go. Maybe that's a better example. We see that in movies and shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? The ego will have you scamming, stealing. You know what I'm saying? Like doing shit like that. Selling butt. You know, whatever. I'm sorry. I promise you I'm an adult. We're children all the time. Whatever. Y'all can judge me if I want. All right, cool. Y'all cracking up. Hey, yo, spirit will have us working 2, 3, 4 jobs and thinking that shit is okay, bro. That's not what you're here to do. You didn't come here to work 4 or 5 jobs. What kind of existence is that? And listen, you got to do what you got to do for now to survive, but understand that, like, yo, there's another plan for you. You just have to follow it. All right, where was I? So listen, a shift is coming. What side you want to be on, right? A life filled with stress, worry, and negative vibration, or do you want to be at peace, feel safe, protected, and loved? Abundance is not only fiscal, FISCAL, or physical, right? PHYSICAL, but ease and completeness. It is more than your wants and desires, but about your needs. God damn. All right, hold on. I wrote that. I'm sorry. Shout out to Spirit for this message. Oh, 100 fire emojis. I'm already on this shit. What did I say? With Spirit. Hey, let's go. Spirit, take the wheel. You heard me? Let Spirit guide you, man. Like Professor Mel told us, let Spirit guide us. This quick message about abundance is interesting too. Because when we look at the word fiscal, and then we talk about the word physical, it's very, very interesting, right? So fiscal, FISCAL, is basically it's an adjective relating to government revenue, especially in taxes, monetary, and policy, right? So in my context that I'm using this in, and where Spirit gave me this word, is when we think about abundance, we only think about money many a times, right? Like most of us in this experience, because we are in the lack mindset, like, let's be honest, me included at moments, I gotta keep it 100 a lot of the time, bro. Like, I'm focused on bread. Like, give me the money so I can do what I want. Like, I ain't right? But abundance is not one-dimensional. I think I talked about this in the Manifestation 101 and 102 videos. I've had to learn a recent lesson about being in the area of receiving, right? Because in my mind, as a man, I'm required to do everything for everyone, right? Like, we're going to dinner, I need to make sure that I'm the one paying for everything. If something goes on in the home, like, I need to make sure that I'm the one making sure everything is taken care of, right? But what about that talks about receiving? right? So I'm so focused, like, Spirit, God, give me the money so I could have this and I could do this and I could provide this, right? Because I'm told I'm supposed to be a provider. That is my role as a man in this world. And if I'm not living up to that existence or that role, then what is my use? Right? At least that's what the ego believes. And so if I'm a little short on cash or if I don't got it, and you know what I'm saying, I feel terrible. I feel less than. I feel unworthy. I feel less than a man. But I had to learn that abundance doesn't just come in a fiscal sense, monetary, right? It also comes in many forms. What about abundance of love? What about abundance of support? What about abundance of kindness? What about abundance of healing? What about abundance of fun? What about abundance of excitement? Right? My value is only connected to money? That's crazy. That's not true. My name ain't money. My name is DJ. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I also learned that, like, what about that energy of my so-called abundance? I'm limiting how spirit is able to pour into me or give me things. Because all I want is money. My hand is, wait, where the camera at? All I'm asking is for putting my hand out for money. But what if there's more? Right? Like, let's talk about abundance of love. Like, maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a partnership that I really, really, really need at this time. Maybe it's more time on my hands because maybe I'm working too much. Whatever it is, I need to be prepared and able to receive the things that I truly need is what I'm getting from this. It's not about my wants and desires, because I for sure want that motherfucking Tesla. I want that Cybertruck. But is that what so the money for the Cybertruck will be lit? But would that really serve me right now? No. My car is working wonderfully fine. I get from point A to B in a wonderful, luxurious way. Right? I mean, I got the leather seats. I got the moonroof. What else am I asking for? I got the all-wheel drive. Right? I don't need to. What I need a Cybertruck for? And it's not to say that I can't dream and have it one day, but I'm like, damn, I wish I had the bread to get that shit, and I'm feeling bad about it. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So you gotta take our mind out of the fiscal focus of what abundance means, because abundance can come in so many ways. And in parts of being abundant, you must be able to receive. And by limiting spirit to say you can only give me money, that's the only way that you can provide me abundance, well, that limits your abundance. You're in lack. Message, you're in freaking lack, fam. That's you snitching on yourself. That's a lack mindset. Abundance comes in many ways: friendships, relationships, kind gestures, conversation, laughter, enjoyment, travel, gifts too. All of those things are like money too. You see what I'm saying? But abundance is all encompassing. And when you limit spirit to just saying, I want this, you're putting yourself in a box, and it stops spirit from giving to you. It's like if you're looking for a job and you're only applying for, I just want to work for Google. And I'm just going to try, I want to work for Google so bad, I'm only going to apply for Google jobs online. Meanwhile, spirit is like, yo, but you want a job. We have the perfect job for you. They have great packages and benefits. They may not have the esteem and the name of a Google in the tech world. They're not one of those corporate giants. They may not have the fancy slides and the sleeping pods like Google in their campuses and their building, but it's a great work environment. There's actually someone there that we want you to link up with. There's someone there that's going to be a great friend to you, and you're going to teach each other things and become the greatest of friends. And you're going to realize that you guys have had a past connection and past life together. And this person is now going to help you start your business and be in partnership and support you and be your COO, your chief operating officer for your company. And y'all start this amazing company and it expands and it becomes big. And then all of a sudden fucking Google is coming to you and it's like, hey, we want to offer you and buy your company. I don't know why that came to my mind, but understand that, like, you see how we limit ourselves. But if you were just like, yo, I'm just going to only apply for Google, you block your blessings. Get out your own way. I don't know why I'm yelling right now. I'm very passionate about this. Now, physical, excuse me. The physical is what the ego attaches to, right? You're looking at your surroundings. You're like, well, you know, I'm in an apartment and not in a house, whatever it is, right? I'm in a condo and not in like a 5-bedroom house that I really deserve. And you're so focused on that. And you're just focused like, give me this house, give me this house. Stop focusing on the house, bro. Stop focusing on the material. Think bigger, think expansion. I want to experience wonderful things. I want to have a wonderful and beautiful house, but I want to be able to travel on it whenever I want and to take, you know, trips and bring my family on. And then, you know, we don't have to worry about money. And I want to be around people who have abundant mindsets and thinkings and are open-minded, because that energy will put me more in a ways of abundance to attract the things that I truly desire on a soul level. You got to begin to think bigger. And I really hope that this is hitting home. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. We're running out of time and I still have some more videos we got to go through. All right. So here's what I want to talk about: fear, real quick, so we can wrap this up. Fear is one of those things that's going to come up right now based on what we're seeing in the collective space. Okay. And what's to come. Okay, we talked about what they're doing on harvesting our energy, taking our focus away, et cetera, for what they want to make happen. But I want to show you something to just kind of give you a visual of why fear isn't real. Disclaimer, this is a little freaky to look at, okay? But I want you guys to think bigger picture here, okay? And I want you guys to just walk with me, all right? Y'all trust me, right? Y'all know I ain't gonna have y'all doing nothing too crazy, but this may be a little graphic, okay? It may be a little scary, but just walk with your boy. All right, bet. Love that. All right, so share. Cool. So we can, great. So we can see this. We're gonna play this real quick. Oops. My bad.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. No, don't touch it. They don't seem that concerned at all, which is concerning me.
I know, it's unbelievable to see, isn't it? Babies, even when they're very young, are very, very good at watching the eyes and the emotional expression of their caregivers. And so if something new or weird or different occurs, the child often check in with their caregiver's face to go, is this something I need to worry about or not? And in that split second, if the caregiver shows fear, the child will often react with fear as well.
I wonder how the parents feel watching this.
This is set up to be very safe.
Okay.
These are trained snakes that are used to being with humans.
They're non-venomous?
They're non-venomous.
Sorry.
Once you've learned to fear them, it's an awful feeling.
But we start out like this.
But we start out like
this.
this.
Touching it on the face.
Yeah, just no fear at all. She hasn't learned there's anything to worry about with snakes. Don't try this at home.
Oh shit, I'm clicking the wrong screen. All right. Whew. All right, y'all. How did y'all feel seeing that? That was kind of freaky, right? Wow, right? It's a powerful visual, which is why when I came across it, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is crazy. When Spirit put it in my awareness, mind over matter, yeah, mind over matter type shit. That's right. Shamika. It just goes to show that fear, a lot of fear it's not real. It is something that is trained. It comes from trauma. It comes from projection, right? Our parents projecting onto us, society projecting onto us, right? Movies, media, right? Like this is very symbolic, right? Like the human fear of snakes is really, really interesting, especially the fact that snakes have been a symbol for higher consciousness since time immemorial, right? But when the church got involved, right, they use that as a means, with the story in the Bible, we can go back and all that kind of stuff to create this innate fear. When you come here, you're taught to be afraid of snakes. Now, danger is very real. Don't go in the fucking wild and mess with a snake. Like, mind your business, mind your spiritual business, as Shuni says, right? But understand that, like, when you came here, you didn't have the trauma, you didn't have the fears that you have now. This is all conditioning, and many of it isn't true. Much of it is just the experience that you think happened or what somebody told you would happen that's stopping you from living your best life. Fear isn't real. It is time to let that shit go. Those babies are just doing baby shit, touching the snake. You know what I'm saying? This is tough. I don't know if I'd have my kid doing this, but I'm happy that these brave people did this. And I'm sure the comments, I didn't even look at the comments, but I'm sure people were like going off and were like pissed, right? Why would you put your kid in this situation? And we need to call child protection, CPS, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Because of their own fears, right? Oh, shoot. All right. I guess we're going like this. I'm doing too much moving. Barbara said unnerving. Yeah, it's kind of scary, right? But very powerful. Yeah, it's a powerful visual, man. So know that the things that you're afraid of aren't real. Most of it isn't real. Danger is real, but fear isn't. Okay. It is just a feeling that has been projected onto you. So know this and know what they're doing right now in the media is trying to trigger and fortify those previous beliefs. Okay. So to bring it all the way back full circle, what you experienced is a choice. Okay. Know that a lot of the things that you are afraid of, a lot of things that are holding you back was because of experiences and projection, and those things aren't true. So use this energy of Chiron that's going to be coming into your life over the next several months, I believe until December. Okay. And I feel like many spiritual beings who are meant to like maybe talk about this or teach or whatever, they experience things early. So I think I get these things early. I suffer through these things for y'all so I can talk about it to help you move through it easier or be prepared for it, But know that the best way to deal with this is to not give your energy to it. Focus your energy on your own healing. Again, follow your promptings. Heal the things that are coming up. Think about it, journal, speak about it, talk to someone, book a session with me, text me, DM me. I'll talk to you. We could chop it up for free, to be honest. I love this. You know what I mean? If you need help working through something, like hit me up. Like, yo, DJ, bro, like I got some stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like we'll schedule something and I'll get on the phone with you for free and we'll just kick it for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We talk about it. I'll help you process it. That's part of my gift as a Cancer, right? Being able to understand your emotions and help you work through them, right? And also know that you aren't your emotions either, but that's neither here nor there. So I think the clip of my clip falling off is a good time for me to end the message here. Man, what a great message. I did not think it would come out this good. I'm not gonna lie, I was very like low energy. I felt like the stuff was all over the place, that I got, but hopefully you guys got something amazing from it. Wow. Before we shut this down, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for, participating. Thank you for listening. I'm just so grateful. I really do love you all. before we run, do we have any, comments, questions, or anything else before we dip out? Oh, thank you so much, love. I appreciate you guys. Real talk. You guys make it all worth it. Trust me. I be fighting this shit to come on every week. It feels like. But as soon as I get on here and I start to talk it and I'm vibing with you guys just honestly make it all worth it. So I really appreciate you. All right. So it doesn't look like there's any questions. I'm gonna give it another few seconds because I know the chat can be slow. Thank you for living in your purpose. Thank you for living in yours, Brittany. Thank you. You're doing the work too. So, and I get to see it. So it's a blessing. I'm trying to think other things that I have going on. Yeah, more content coming soon. Should be doing some more interviews soon. I've got a collab coming up. I ain't gonna let the cat out the bag. It's lit, so look out for that. Again, if you come across someone that's like, needs help working through some things, or they want some guidance in like what they're to do next, they want to know more about their soul's paths and purpose, tap in, send them my way. And yeah, we'll be back again next Wednesday to do it all again, baby. All right, y'all. Well, listen, I love you guys. Y'all have a great and blessed week. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind. Have grace. Be fearless. Like them babies in that picture. Okay? On that post that we just saw. Be that baby. Be fearless. You have nothing to fear. All right? Ooh, excuse me. Good night. Peace.